Okay. Well, when my father came out of the Air Force at the end of the war, there were grants to get further education, and he was accepted at the most prestigious art school in the United States, Art Center School in Pasadena, California. It was a 4-year course, and my dad was taking illustration. They got 2 weeks off in the summer. It was that intense a course. And they actually worked on cadavers at USC to learn and perfect anatomy. Well, anyway, after my father graduated as an illustrator, he moved back to Calgary and practiced his art as an illustrator. He did many Western Horseman covers. He did a lot of the Calgary Herald calendars, all of that kind of Western art, Western Horseman covers. And it was getting research that my dad stopped and took pictures of Don and his friend out with a team out in the field pitching bundles. Great research for the illustrations that my dad was doing.
After a number of heart attacks, he needed something to relax from the commercial business, so he took up sculpting. And then he had his work cast in England and New York, because there was no foundries in Canada. And I went down and apprenticed in a foundry in California. And then we come back and we started our foundry here. And when he was, after he had a number of heart attacks, he said to us, you know, he might not be around. And he said, if you guys want to make a living at it, you'll do great if you keep it up. And we decided that we're never going to quit. This is too much fun. And we have stayed at it. This is just going into our 54th year. And we still have 2 employees that have been here with us that whole time. We had no more work from Shirley's father, so we took on other artists to cast their work. And then people would come to us and say, well, I talked to an artist, but he didn't want to do it. So we'd be interested if you guys could arrange to have it done. Well, I talked to a number of different artists and about doing work for us. And most of them weren't too reliable. So then I went back to California and New York to become a sculptor. And right now we have done about, between Shirley and I sculpting, we've probably got about 175 monuments that we have created around the world. And everything is still as busy today as we were when we first started, or busier.
We started the first foundry to cast artwork in Western Canada. And I grew up in Los Angeles when my father was going to art school. And so I've always lived with an artist. And I grew up knowing that your face is the length of your hand and you're 2.5 heads wide. I thought everybody knew that. I just always living with an artist, first my father and now Don, I thought everybody knew the proportions of life size and heroic scale. And so when we started our foundry, we were doing my father's casting, and we were learning a lot from my dad. And we had the great privilege of casting artwork for other artists after my father passed away, people like Charlie Beale. And gradually, as Don said, people started asking us if we could do the entire job, do the sculpting as well as the bronze casting. And that's what we started doing, and we've never looked back.
No desire to retire. And it's great to make a sculpture and put it in a park. And everybody gets to enjoy it. It doesn't cost any money to go. And there's a lot of people that have donated sculptures to different parks that we've done for them. And it's a great place when you hear people. We just put a couple in last week, and they said that was nice that people donated it to their park. And they've taken ownership of the park and the pieces that have gone into it, which is very rewarding to us.
Creating public art is very, very fulfilling. It's so nice to do something that is free to everyone to go and see statues in parks, and we really enjoy that.